Well, my deepest prayer is that the word I bring to you now will mean something to you in days of real anxiety. I want to start with a quote from C.S. Lewis, who said, "I believe in Christianity as I believe the sun has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else." The resurrection is the centre, the ground of our being. It is the axis on which past, present and future stand. Therefore, everything must be seen in its light and with its hope. When Jesus was baptized at the very start of his ministry, he modelled resurrection right there. He modelled his own death in his submersion and then in his rising from the water out again. That is what baptism is. For us mere mortals, a real experience of Jesus' life means a brand new start. A life in which the beauty of hope is evident in who we are and in our spiritual response to life's joys and trials. A real experience is not really being the person that you used to be, but trying to be better. It's a beautiful change. Think of the people of Israel. They went into the Red Sea as slaves. They emerged as sons and daughters, children of God. Resurrection experience is not trying to rebuild an old house that needs demolishing. It's about a brand new building. It's about a brand new person. The old has gone. The new has come. So we look at Romans 6 that you heard read earlier. If we've died to sin, we can't live in it. We have to go through the pain of Good Friday, the putting to death experience, in order that the perspective of future hope becomes alive within us. So it means that we can live with the heart and mind of God's eternity here and now. Therefore, I may be sick now, but I won't be sick forever. I may be worried now, but I won't be worried forever. I may be confused, and many of us are. We may be confused now, but we won't be confused forever. I may be doubting now, but I won't be doubting forever. I may be isolated now, but I'm not going to be isolated forever. We dearly hoped before this crisis came that Commissioner Norman Howe was going to be our speaker on Easter Sunday morning. Alas, that is because of the situation, that has not been made possible. But he did send round a prayer. He is so wonderfully encouraging with his texts and his posts. A prayer of John Donahue, and the last line of this prayer says, "We look, Lord, for your arrival in the new dawn." On that first Easter day, the very first thing that happened was only two people, two women, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, knew that Jesus had risen from the dead. And from their testimony, so the church has grown through the ages. The gospel is not dependent on the number who spread it, but more on the number of born-again people who gossip Jesus with passion, with belief, with that beauty, with that hope. The old has gone, the new has come. If you want to see the difference, look at the miracle of water into wine. So different. The old water, the old law has gone. The new wine, the new spirit now has been born. Resurrection. Romans 6 verse 3 says, "We have joined him in his death." And it's felt like that, hasn't it? We all have crosses. Your job might be a cross right now. What is happening with your job? Loneliness and isolation as we are. And for some of you, it's a real thing right now. The right person never turned up. Or the right person did turn up and they disappeared again. And you're lonely. You're without. That special person is not there. Your children, their situation might be a cross for you at the moment. But here's the thing. Easter Sunday reminds us that Christ's story does not end on a cross, and your story won't end on a cross either. Many have testified to periods of suffering that have culminated in a new way forward, a new beautiful hope. And maybe now in 2020, it's important to remember that resurrection is not confined to history. Maybe we as communities, as societies, as churches are going to see a brand new resurgence, a brand new revival of the things of God. And if we want to talk about that in a more conversational way, join us on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Once this graveyard experience is through in these coming months, let's look at that. What can be brand new? What are we learning through this? May it be a new day of love and forgiveness. May it be a new day with new minds and new attitudes, new baptisms, new creations. No longer slaves to sin, but sons and daughters of the living God, existing perpetually in what St. Peter calls a living hope, Christ himself and his truth, his life. So I do believe that the world will be saved by beauty, the beauty of truth and hope. The beauty who is the resurrected Christ himself. Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 3 offers us beautiful Easter assurance through it. He says, "To all who mourn in Israel, he will give a crown of beauty for ashes, a joyous blessing instead of mourning, festive praise instead of despair. In their righteousness they will be like great oaks that the Lord has planted for his own glory." Wow. There will be beauty for ashes. Our cup of suffering will be broken, and a brand new vessel, a brand new jar of new wine, new spirit, new life is available because Christ has risen from the dead. That is the beauty of the resurrection. That is the beauty of hope. And apply that to your own situation today, will you? To the ashes of doubt, to the ashes of illness, to the ashes of uncertainty and fear in the current climate. In all of this, God is with us. And if you're one of those who's worrying about somebody who has COVID-19, you're fretting for somebody who is now bereaved because a loved one has died through it, let me just say, God is with you in that death. God is with you because he rose again. And that is our story as Christians. God with us in the intensive care ward. God with us on the post round. God with us delivering supermarket goods. God with us all the way through this. God with us in the neighbourhood. As C.S. Lewis said, we see all things in the light of the resurrection. So may that be a constant perspective this Easter day for you and for me, for those that we love, for the Christian church, and for the whole of humankind. May God bless you this Easter. Amen. Amen.